Good day, good people. This is Howard Martell, known as the Home Profit Coach here in Hampton Roads with a very, very important message. We're going to talk about a book that I just started. I just got in the mail. It's called The Dollar Apocalypse Survival Guide for the Next Great Depression by David Bates and Claude Davis. Very, very interesting because it gives you history and it mirrors what is unfortunately going on in the United States. And it can get kind of scary, but at the end of the day, if you are prepared and you do what the book has told you ahead of time, you'll be fine. So, hold on a second. All right. Now that we've got the historical foundation in place, let's start in chapters 1 through 3. Ingenious strategies that save people during the economic crisis of the past. I'm going to keep this tight and practical, what the chapter is saying and what it means for real life, one action you can take. And as I go, I'll pause for quick comments so we can make this interactive. Quick reminder, this is financial education and not personal financial advice. My goal is to help you think clearly and take calm steps. And here's the promise for this section. By the end of the next 15 minutes, you'll have a simple 3-part plan based on chapters 1 through 3, mindset, pressure points, and first moves. If you're with me, type ready in the chat. Chapter 1, the warning plus the mindset. Chapter 1 is the mindset chapter. It's the author saying, don't assume stability is guaranteed. This chapter isn't really trying to turn you into professional economists. It's trying to move you out of 2 unhelpful extremes. Extreme number 1 is denial. That could never happen here. It happened in Venezuela. Extreme number 2 is panic. It's over. Do something crazy right now. Don't panic. Just, you got to think strategically. When I served in the military for 20 years and 10 days, you think that the military panicked? No, we were properly trained and we drilled and we drilled and we drilled on specific things that are specialty. I was a communications and cybersecurity, so we drilled on making sure that our communications was up so we could communicate to our upper leadership and provide them the valuable data that they needed to do whatever mission that we had on the ship, which was being forward deployed, which was whatever president was in office and administration decided what needed to be done. We had to follow our leaders' guidance and the commander in chief. And chapter 1 is pushing a third option, calm preparation. If I had to summarize chapter 1 in one line, it would be this: you don't need to predict the future. You need to reduce your vulnerability. That's core. The book is less about calling the exact date of a crash and more about helping you build a household that can take a punch and keep moving. Now, let me give you the most useful way to think about chapter 1. It's about dependency. Most households depend on paycheck arriving on time, prices staying somewhat predictable, credit being available, and store shelves being normal. Chapter 1 is basically saying if any of those assumptions get shaky, what happens to you? So here's a quick live question and answer in one word. What your household most dependent on right now? One job, 2 jobs, credit cards, or predictable prices? Good. That's chapter 1 point. Identify your weak area in your household and pass it on to your neighbors also. Action for chapter number 1, simple and fast. Tonight, write down your top 3 risk points. For example, if I miss one paycheck, I'd be in trouble. My grocery costs keep rising. My debt payments are too high. Just naming those 3 things move from anxiety into clarity. Now, chapter 2 explains what instability looks like in real life. What instability looks like is the pressure point. Chapter 2 shifts from mindset to mechanics. What happens when the system gets stressed? And the main takeaway is disruption doesn't always show up as a dramatic event. It often shows up in a household pressure that builds over time. I'm going to break down chapter 2 into 3 pressure points you can remember. Pressure point number 1, purchasing power. When purchasing power drops, life gets more expensive, not just once, consistently. This is where people feel squeezed: groceries, gas, utilities, insurance, rent, or mortgage costs. That's what we're feeling here all across different parts of the country. Even if your income stays the same, your life gets smaller. That's the lived experience of inflation and currency weakness. Your money buys less. Pressure point number 2, credit tightens. When lenders get nervous, credit gets harder. Interest rates rise, approval becomes stricter, and minimum payments matter more. terms get less friendly. That's why living on payments is risky. The moment credit tightens, the household that relies on borrowing feels it first. Pressure point number three. Uncertainty spreads. When uncertainty rises, people and businesses change behavior. Consumers pull back, businesses cut costs, hiring slows, layoffs can increase, and fear becomes contagious. Now, a quick question for you in the chat. What hits you first when prices rise? Food, gases, utilities, or debt payments? This is why chapter 2 matters. It matters and teaches you where the stress comes up so you can prepare the right order. Do a pressure test on your budget. Ask, if groceries rise 20%, what breaks me first? If gas rises, what changes? If credit card rates rise, can I still pay extra? You don't need perfect math, you need awareness. Now, chapter 3 starts giving the first layer of response. First moves, stabilize the household. Chapter 3 is where we start acting. And I like this chapter because it pushes you towards fundamentals, not fear. I'm going to give you simple frameworks you can remember and reuse. It's 3 layers. Layer 3, stabilize cash flow. If you don't know what's coming in, what's going out, you don't have a plan, you have hope. So the first step is basic but powerful. List your monthly bills, list due dates, identify leaks, cut at least one leak this week. Layer 2, reduce payment stress. Debt becomes dangerous when it creates a monthly trap. If income is disrupted, the bills don't care. So the goal is to reduce the number of payments that can force you into desperation. Start with high interest consumer debt, unnecessary finance items, and anything with payments that keep you awake at night. Layer 3, cover essentials calmly. This is not panic buying, this is steady planning. Essentials are categories most families feel first. Food basics you actually can eat, water plan, medical basics, energy reliability, and a communication plan. I can't stress the communication plan enough. There's so many ways that you can communicate, but what if the internet went down? How are you going to communicate that way? Phone lines went down. How are you going to communicate? Do you have a way to communicate with your loved ones? Now, I'm going to give you a quick 7-day start checklist. If you even do half of this, you'll feel more stable. Write down your top 5 bills and due dates. Cancel one unnecessary expense. Start an emergency fund, even small. Inventory your pantry before shopping. Choose one debt payment target. Identify one skill you can improve or monetize. Write a plan B paragraph. What you cut first, what you sell, and who you call. Which number will you do in the next 24 hours? Type the number. Here's a tight recap and transition. Chapter 1, mindset. Don't deny, don't panic, prepare. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Pressure points. Purchasing power, credit tightening, uncertainty. Chapter 3, first moves, cash flow, debt stress reduction, essentials. If you want, on the next stream, we'll continue with the next chapter. Now, so what I wanted to do is I'm going to go a little history. We got some time to do the history, right? And this is the disturbing part, people, is that we have had this history. And one of the countries that it started at, right, was Venezuela. And they've been warning us for a while, right? So let's go into this is gonna be like quick 5 minutes of the dollar apocalypse, chapter 1, chapter 3. Before we jumped into chapters 1 through 3, I want to take 5 minutes to lay down the historical backbone behind the whole topic because fear people feel about dollar crisis or next Great Depression didn't appear out of nowhere. It built on real sequence of events and real lessons from the past. First, let's start with the Great Depression because that's the reference point everyone is comparing the future to. In 1930s, the economy didn't just slow down, the systems failed. Businesses collapsed, unemployment surged, and many families learned the hard way that normal life can change in extremely fast. So when people say the next Great Depression, what they're really saying is we've seen a major breakdown before, and we don't want to be caught unprepared if instability returns. Now, after World War II, the world changed again. The United States became a dominant economic power, and the US dollar became central to global trade. Over time, the dollar wasn't just American currency, it became the currency of the world used to price and settle many transactions. That matters because once currency becomes global, its stability becomes a big deal. If confidence in that currency weakens, the impact doesn't stay local. It can ripple through markets, trade, and everyday prices. Next, it's a crucial shift in modern money, the move away from money that's directly redeemable for hard assets like gold or silver towards a system that operates primarily on confidence, what many people call a fiat currency system and a confidence-based system. Money works because people believe it will hold value and because institutions keep that system functioning. That's not automatically good or bad. It's just a different type of system. But it does mean this: when trust is high, money flows, planning is easy. When trust drops, people start changing behavioral quickly, saving more, spending less, moving money, demanding higher interest, or stockpiling essentials. Then moving into the 70s, there are major inflation shocks that taught households another important lesson. Even when you're earning money, you can still lose ground if prices rise faster than wages. This is where a lot of today's anxiety comes from. People feel it when grocery bills jump, when the rent rises, when insurance premiums climb, when utilities go up. Inflation isn't just a number on the news, it's a quiet force that makes paychecks buy less. After that, as we move to the late 20th century into the early 21st century, debt becomes bigger. Bigger features of everyday life. Households rely more on financing. Businesses rely more on leverage. Governments take on larger obligations. And the more the system relies on debt, the more sensitive it becomes to interest rates, job stability, instability, and liquidity, meaning access to cash and credit. Let's bring up 2008 financial crisis. I know this has damaged many millions of people. Another major historical milestone for this, in 2008, a lot of people realized the financial system can be fragile. Big institutions can fail, credit can freeze, and everyday people can get squeezed, even if they did nothing wrong. And what many people remember is not just the crisis itself, but the scale of the response. How much intervention, stimulus, and emergency action took place to stabilize the entire system. And finally, in the modern era, you have the combination of factors that keeps the conversation alive: cost of living pressures, supply chain fragility, periodic bank stress headlines, and ongoing debate about monetary policy and government spending. So when a book talks about dollar apocalypse or next generation, it's usually drawing a straight line through history. Depression level disruption is possible. The dollar is essential to the system. Money depends heavily on confidence and inflation, plus debt can pressure household. So here's the takeaway from history. The goal is to predict a date on the calendar. The goal is to learn the pattern. The pattern is this: when confidence drops, behavior changes. When behavior changes, the economy changes. And when the economy changes, households that have a plan tend to do better. Now, with the historical foundation in place, you go into chapter 1 and look at how the author set up the warning and mindset you need to going forward if you want. And so that's a little history about it, right? And history is repeating itself. And I'm not trying to be a poo-poo, but what I'm going to tell you is you got to know how to protect your money. And I'm going to show you one way how I protect my money. So just bear with me. So let's go right here to this. I am a living benefits advisor or safe money advisor. This is my mentor and also one of my so we have a virtual money 101 event happening that it's free. You can come on, check it out. Go to this link here, and I can put this in the chat thing. This is in all 50 states. You're going to learn about how to protect your money. And I think this is crucial that you understand how to protect your money. Because I learned a lot in the military, right? So you go to that Eventbrite link there. It's on the screen there too. And that's going to show you how to protect your dollars, right? Growing, and most Americans, people in America would like to learn more about money. Join us for this free educational event on how money really works for you. Growing, protect your money doesn't have to be complicated. Join us in an informative, entertaining virtual presentation that takes all the mystery out of growing and preserving wealth. Wherever you are financial journey, you will find something significant value in education-based presentation. This event has changed the financial direction of hundreds of thousands of people, including me and my family, from all walks of life in America, to include teachers, accountants, truck drivers, realtors, stay-at-home moms, CEOs, military, police, firefighters, bankers, farmers, attorneys, airlines, pilots, small business owners, and anybody. You never have to risk your money to get great returns. That's why our clients sleep well at night. I sleep well at night. We just met with Heather yesterday and Angie, who introduced us to Five Rings Financial. And yes, I'm part of that team. And I'm proud to tell people that I represent this because this is what I wanted to do. My last 2 years in the military, I was counseling. I was what's called a command financial specialist. I went through a 1 week school at the Fleet and Family Support Center for the Navy, and I had to be appointed, and I had to go through a process of I had to show them what my credit rating was, make sure I'm financially, in a very good position because I'm going to be counseling junior and potentially senior sailors on items that can affect their clearances and other things too. So that's one of them. That's our virtual event, right? So we have another one coming up too. Also on the 30th. We have, if you want to know more about our company, right here. You can go right here. 5 Rings Company Overview. It is an online event, and they got multiple dates. It's between 30 to 40 minutes, and it'll be well worth your time. And it says, please no financial agents without prior consent. If you are a financial agent, you will get screened by Heather, unless you're part of our 5 Rings family. But that's why we use this. Also, April 6th here locally in Hampton Roads, you can go to Wine, Women, and Wealth. It's a great place to network for women. Networking starts at 5:15, and they'll start sharp at 6 p.m. Wine, Women, and Wealth is a community of women supporting each other in business and in relationship with money. We believe that empowered and educated women make great decisions with their money. It's part networking, part financial education, and part girls' night out. There you go, right there. Same thing. This is at our headquarters there in Virginia Beach. Now, what I want to share with people is that you need to be very good at money management, especially now. What we're seeing right now is we're seeing a contraction of a lot of sectors in the job market. See, I worked cyber for 30 years, 20 years, 10 days as military, and then 10 years plus on and off as a cyber contractor. Well, as of January, when I thought I had another year on my contract, that contract was gone. 32 bodies gone, $60 million in profits for the company that I work with. So I decided I wanted to try something different, helping our community, especially police and firefighters, because they're at risk every single day because they're protecting our community. So if you know people in Hampton Roads, have them reach out to us. We have a plan for them too, a presentation that will definitely help them at the Brinkman Group. We really want to help our community because this is in all 50 states, people. And I'm an advocate. All I'm doing is inviting people out to get either our live event, or you can come to our live event coming up on April 23rd, our Money 101 presentation. This is live at the Westin from 6:30 to 8:30. Money 101 will introduce you to 7-time proven financial tools and strategies that are essential for college funding, retirement planning, tax reduction, or just simple wealth accumulation. Using money you never knew you had. Tens of thousands of people across all walks of life have benefited from the Money 101, including me and my family. And I call that a smart move because I have sleep insurance. That's right. I sleep well because I decided somebody cared enough about my and my wife's financial future, knowing that I was a veteran and also a small disadvantaged service disabled veteran who fought for his benefits. So for my veterans out there, you need to make wise choices. We fought for our country, and there's certain benefits that we get that will definitely help you. So another thing I wanted to stress to you too is this. I want to show you something. I'm going to share a link with that right now with you. I want to show you some testimonies of another criminal thing you to learn about.
At the age of 33, I never thought that I would get sick with cancer.
I felt great. I felt fine. I mean, there was no problems.
I am an avid gym goer. I was really in great health.
We're faithful people. I was like, that's not going to happen to us. It's not going to happen. So when it did happen, it was like, it took our breath away.
They called to let me know that I was diagnosed with stage 2-3 breast cancer.
A melanoma.
And that's when they told us they found a tumor.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have cancer.
We got him into a local oncologist to take a look at him, and he went straight to surgery.
When she looked me in the eye and said, I had other patients who have had this same thing and they've lived at least 5 years. And that's when it hit me.
When your family's hit with cancer like that, it turns your whole world upside down.
We knew it was there in the back of our mind. We never thought about it. We just made our monthly premiums.
There were several alternative treatments that without the living benefits policy, we never would have been able to afford.
There's a lot of things associated with cancer that the insurance companies do not cover.
Sure, I had insurance, and insurance is great, and I have very good insurance. I mean, I think my out-of-pocket costs were at least $30,000 for that year.
We had the mortgage, we had the car payments, we had private school tuition, we had credit card bills, groceries. Okay.
When you're not working and when you don't have an income, things like that are very important.
There were thousands of dollars that we were able to rely on that living benefits policy for.
They actually paid out $343,000.
Nothing that I had financially could cover that other than the living benefit plan.
To have that policy just like that, it means the world.
Had I not had that, I don't think I would be here today.
All that worry, stress, it just evaporated instantly.
You just don't know what tomorrow brings.
It gave me so many different options. Without that money, who knows where we'd be.
That's the power of the living benefits. It's very powerful.
At the age of 33.
All right. Let's get that out of there. So that was just a little sneak peek of what you get. So definitely sign up for one of those if you're in the 757 area. I've given you all the information that you need. You can go here and you can get all the events. But if you're in one of the 50 states, this is a virtual event, so you can sit there. That's going to be, if I remember right, March 30th from 7 to 8 p.m. It's going to be powerful. And all we do is we educate you. We allow you to make the decision on how you want to protect your money. But I'm going to tell you, this is the way to do it. I looked at it yesterday and what they put in place for me. I'm taking my 401k money. I have one that had a Roth 401k, and I'm having one that has an IRA. What it is I'm taking that, and I did that all tax free. So I'm using what they call indexed accounts, not indexed funds. I stress that. So if you want to know more about that, get to that live event, sign up, register for it. It's free, and you can be educated and better prepared for as the dollar keeps on going down and stuff, and how Howard is protecting his God-given financial stewardship dollars, those direct deposits that have been provided to me by Yahweh. Take care. God bless.